Gardner and Rich, which we like to call Trigger. And I love that name, Trigger. You're going to have to
Great job
today. Tell
again,
us
man.
about
You
that.
are crushing the interviews, and these ladies are
Aren't they
wonderful.
fun?
Yeah, no, they're fun. Again, diversity, wow, all over the place from what we've had, but great job. And again, part of that was the collaboration conversation. She kind of let out with that right away, but it's a collaboration instead of other female leaders and other organizations, not even hospitality to hospitality. She said in India, very early on that, it was like other organizations were actually pulling together during pandemic to help hospitality survive and hospitality help them survive. But it was the leaders, the women, that said, we need to do this together, ladies. How cool is that?
They got it together. I'm so impressed with her. I think that she definitely is very well known. I mean, she's like famous in
she's
India.
the GM. She's the VP in India.
I mean, it's incredible the organization she belongs to and who she knows. I mean, she talked about the prime minister who she knows, and yeah. I mean, this woman is well connected and such a great example for her country. And I really liked how she was expressing, you know, don't give up, go after your goals and stand up. You know, I
cross
totally
the
agree
barriers.
with that.
That was a word. Cross the barriers.
Right.
Wow.
Love the way she forcefully even said that, like as if she's talking to each and every one of us. And I was just like, I was ready to stand up. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. You got me going. And on top of that, she had some golden nuggets that I never even thought of before. And you and I were talking about it just off the air here a little bit. And it has to do with, you know, women are great cooks. Why aren't they in the kitchen? Like, you know, she works for the beautiful La Meridian, New Delhi. So she's at that hotel all the time. And when she walks into a kitchen, there's only men.
Okay,
and
now that shocked me.
That did too. Yeah, I never realized that.
Me that she says we're not, but we should. And she was very forceful. The women should be leading hospitality in India. Okay. That's pretty strong for a male-dominant culture, but she was really out there. And then when she broke the veil, like, we're not in the kitchen. I would have thought they would have been in the kitchen. I assumed the females were, again, sight unseen, you cook, you do, but she said we're not.
Yeah.
Did that shock you like it did me?
Yeah. And I think that's part of the landscape of what she was trying to describe, what's going on in India. And along with other things that she's talking about now and in the future. But that was just a little example of what she is seeing and what needs to change. And for her to bring something like that so boldly on our show today really was a great statement, not only for the country of India, but all the other countries globally too.
Well, and I said going in that segment, she may pull the veil back. She may just take it inside a little bit. I had no idea she was going to do that. Or she said 17% of the hospitality workers in India are female.
Yeah.
Do you understand how tiny of a percentage that is?
Yeah.
17%, Deborah.
That really needs to be worked upon. I was shocked when she was saying that. I think she's very well aware of it, of course, and wants to make that known that, again, you know, like Sheriff was talking about earlier from PCMA, you know, change. There needs to be some change, right?
Well, but then, again, going back to the beginning of your conversation, we're kind of all over the roadmap, but it's kind of interesting. And you lit up when you asked the question. I don't think you knew you were landing on the question, but they cross-train. You said part of this is what works is the cross-training of it.
Yes.
That during the pandemic, because of how it went down and over there culturally and the boundaries, they didn't have a choice.
Right.
It was like, maybe you don't normally fit over here, but you're coming over here. We're going to train you now. It opened up a whole new cross-training policy, which she said, right, we really can't go back the other way now. We need the cross-train, and you picked up on that. That was great.
Well, the only reason why I did, to be honest, is that that's how I was trained in the hospitality industry, the hotel sector, when I was in my 20s. And one of the first things, part of the training is that you have to cross train. You have to go to housekeeping and make beds. You have to go to be a bellman and do some valet, with some cars. You had to go into the kitchen. You had to be a waiter or waitress. I mean, you had to be, looking at room service. I mean, you had to play all those parts. That was part of our training. And so when she said that, I went, oh God, I should have had a V8. That has come back. And it's interesting because I've talked to a previous general manager of mine, Pete Els. He's with Sonessa Hotels. And when I was talking to him, because they had to lay off and furlough a lot of employees, I said, "So Pete, you must be doing some making some beds now, right?" And he goes, "Yep, doing the cross training." So again, when she brought that up, I'm like, that makes sense, because that's where we're at right now. We need to do what we can to make sure that we can build the confidence of people coming to the hotels, utilizing our services, getting that confidence back that you and I have been saying through the whole show, that that's what's going to help us move forward. So cross training is like a new back in the trend, sector again, just like mentoring.
No, I was just going to say, because Karen in the previous one talked about the mentoring.
Right.
You have to cross train, you have to get in together and do this, but that's mentoring side by side in there. And then on any given day, and again, on my sports week, just so you know, I was assistant general manager for a baseball team. I fed several thousand people a night. I cross-trained everyone, because at any given night, the power goes down, the popcorn popper goes, we need more cotton candy, we need more hats to be sold. I would move people, because you need to shift and move to keep pleasing and serving the people. She said it very clearly. This was not the way we ever thought here, but we have to now, and we did it. It was like the big aha. What a radical shift for them. But for her to admit, we have to keep doing this forward. We can't revert back now. You kind of blow the genie out of the bottle, and she wants to keep going forward, leading that way.
Right. Exactly. So I'm curious what the viewers would want to say, and I'm hoping some people will join us in the chat box, or again, you can be on the show. Don't be shy.
Now how can they get in the show? How can they come and join the fun here?
Well, we'll put that information right there down in the tag area here. All they have to do is email us, hello@hospitalitytodaylive.com, and our staff will gravitate toward those requests to be on the show, and they'll give you the link, and we'll see that you've popped on, and we'd love to just chat with you and see what you thought of.
And also, we're on Facebook. We're streaming with Facebook today. Where else are we popping up, Deborah?
Right. We're on YouTube, and of course, the LinkedIn in time. But LinkedIn is a little slower today, it seems like. But hey, YouTube or Facebook really works. And like you said, we're going to be bigger and better next year. So we're up for any advice and suggestions. If there's something that you want to see in the future, or know about, or maybe you would like to recommend someone, to be an international hospitality woman to be on the show, by all means, again, there's the email, hello@hospitalitytodaylive.com. We'll take all that feedback. We'll take, that's what we're all about. We're on a global stance. We're not a small community anymore. We're not just hospitality. We're on a global basis here now. And it's all about bringing things together. And I know everybody has a voice. So bring on those ideas.
Well, and again, I want to know, are we going to Russia next year? Are we going to go to France next year? Iceland next year? Where are we going to go?
That's going to be the big secret. And until which we'll find out very soon. So I like I mentioned, we got to stay close to what PCMA is doing, and what the show is doing, because I have a feeling there's going to be some big, huge announcement. So hopefully we keep our followers coming and the interest as well, because we're just getting started with this International Hospitality Women's Day. And I love your backdrop there.
Yeah, we
full screen on this one. Let's put you full screen on that one.
Okay, yeah, again, we've been in India, and it's been great. We've been kind of doing a travel log. I'm going to be your traveling postcard host for the day to help you out. Coming up after India, we're going to go to Spain, which would be beautiful. We're going to switch that up in a moment. We're still in India right now. And again, Deborah, one of the cool things I heard her say, Meena was talking about the fact that the further up the ladder she went, and other women have experiences, and I'm curious if you have, the further the women have gone up the ladder, the more that disparity changes, and you're just, oh, you're part of the club now. Mysteriously, you belong here.
Yes.
But she said, it's gone when you get up the ladder, but before you get up the ladder, there is a disparity. Have you found that to be true, or is that more of their cultural world of hospitality and women leadership?
Well, I believe, that's a great question, because I believe it's worldwide. And I have the way to prove that by talking with, again, David Kong with Best Western International. He actually was saying that the problem here, the main problems is the lack of access of capital and the training and talent development. He was talking about, we just don't have enough mentors, which, as you can see, is kind of a turnaround starting today. And the board level commitments and offering those opportunities is what he was saying are mostly the main problems. So it does start at the top, to make sure that when women do get into those positions, what are those opportunities to keep them there, to keep them prospering, keep them interested, keep them to elevate? Because according to Hospitality Insights, there was a study of about 400 top-tiered companies worldwide. 85% of those companies said that 1 in 5 female employee is at the board level. And 94% of them said that they only have 1 woman at the senior level. So obviously what David Kong with Best Western International Hotels was talking about is true. It's the lack of training that provides the talent development in these women and the mentorship. And above all, I really believe the board level commitment is just not there. So I hope someone like Sheriff Karamat, who talked earlier today on the show from PCMA, says, hey, we got to get these CEOs, these CFOs, the CMOs on board. And so hopefully his statement back in 2018 will start living on and getting these commitments at that level.
So I want to just zoom a little bit tighter in on that, because you're set of 1 out of 5, right?
Right.
We just came out listening to Meena in India.
Yep.
And she was talking about the disparity, and she's feeling it's underdone right now, needs to change. But she's a VP and general manager. She is one of that 1 out of 5. She has risen in a country that is far behind the threshold, she says, but she's one of the one. You just got to talk to one. You just personally met one of those that she's rocking it. She's crushing it. But now when you say 1 out of 5, she's in that space in a country where it's ultra, ultra rare. I wonder what that stat would be, and how lucky, blessed, timely it was to have her talk about her women leadership in a space where it's very rare.
Isn't that amazing?
I mean, when you just read that stat and we just talked to her, that's a seismic shift. It really is.
Yeah, it's really, really odd. But yet at the same time, it's good that we know this. We need this conversation more and more to uncover what other countries are going through this as well. But she's definitely there to show the way. And hopefully today, as an International Hospitality Women's Day, will help as well in her country. So
I think it was beautiful. And again, that just adds clarity to the women that, Deborah, you reached out to, the women that you bring into this. They're elevated. They've got their war wounds. And she's definitely got her battle dress on, because she's talking about this is where we belong.
Yeah, they're showing us, she's showing us a way. All these women today are showing the way. And gosh, I mean, now that we spent a little bit of time in India, where are we going next?
And next, we are going to be going to, as I pull out the postcard here, we are going to be heading over to Spain.
Oh, let's take a look at that. Yeah.
Welcome to Spain. We're going to have a wonderful conversation about what's there. It's a beautiful, beautiful region. You got the coastlines and everything, and just rich culture. Architecture, I've heard there is absolutely beautiful, stunning. And again, with the whole hospitality industry, their whole thing is to wine and dine you and give you the experience.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Spain? Have you ever been there?
Oh, never been to Spain. I would love to go to Spain, especially to meet Olga, the one we're going to listen to pretty soon here. And again, she's the one that stood out for me because she's so into celebrating her birthday. And I thought that was really, really cool because that's where it starts. I think women put a lot of pressure on themselves to want to impress. But yet, if you take something simple, close to your heart, like Olga did regarding her birthday, it's like, hey, put it out there. Why not?
Celebrate the age, celebrate your experience and the volume of content and the leadership that comes with that. 20-year-olds, great leaders, but you don't have the experience of a 50, 60-year-old. There's something to be had about the war wounds and the scars that you can bring back, but that's where mentorship comes in. Again, these things keep coming around. The conversations are making it so clear about the mentorship, the leadership, the process of having good leaders in this space, but you've got to bring your experience back down to the next level. You have to bring people in and run them through that cross training. So it's just fun to see how the conversations are weaving a fun tapestry, a fun storyline.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And just to get a little setup on Olga Navarro, she is a hospitality entrepreneur. I mean, a true hospitality entrepreneur. This woman has had her fingers in several different aspects of the industry, and yet she's constantly learning. And I can see why she does it because, first of all, she speaks 5 languages, which is incredible.
I barely have English down.
I know, right? And she's been involved with so many different aspects. Like she's been on the board of directors for CITE, which is an international organization. She's she's got, an EMBA and a CIS, which I'm going to ask her about what that all means.
Thank you in advance.
Yeah, exactly. And she's got her MBA, which we all know, but she's very strong-willed. That's what I love about this girl. And I believe everyone should really listen to what Olga has to share, because when I've talked to her before on our pre-calls, she is just gung-ho about today. And we're just so delighted to have her. And I just think the world of her, like all the rest of our ladies here today. And gosh, all the way from Spain, Barcelona, Spain. That I would love to go there to meet her. Would love that. So
checking off our wish list, and
yeah, I know,
really make things happening. Maybe we can take this on the road. Wouldn't that be great to actually do women's hospitality from Spain in one of the hotels and have the venue? And then beam around. It'd be great.
Wouldn't that be fun? I remember being at Universal Studios years and years ago, and I volunteered to be on the set that they did for Star Trek. And I remember them beaming me up. I had the whole costume on, and they were beaming me up outer space. And it was so funny. I was still standing there, but the audience couldn't see me because they thought I was beamed up. And I'm like, I want to go somewhere. Beam me up. Take me somewhere. And I was still standing there.
Okay, now I am forever jealous of you. I just sidebar. No one else has to hear us here for a second. Which version of Star Trek was it?
I don't recall, but I'm not a big Star Trek fan. But that day was so much fun that I started watching it, but I never was a fan. But I know, I bet you are. I bet you are. But it was fun to be put in the costumes and play the part. But I really wanted to go somewhere. So maybe I just lost, faith that it doesn't really work. But
so let's go do one of those topics for a second, because some of the trends right now are the virtual, the experiential. People want to see and feel, but there's also, on the flip side of that right now, is a staycation.
Right.
But even with the stay-at-home vacations, hospitality plays a part of it, because people may not be traveling the way we once did, but the hospitality world will have to maybe reinvent the experience of the stay-home vacation, the regional vacation, the trends of let's do something really unique for our region to make it still the attraction to come, to get out of the house, What do you hear, since you're in the middle of this industry stuff? What's going on with the staycations?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Actually, every day is a different day, like everything, but staycations are going to be a big impact of helping getting people back on the traveling road. I know Airbnb is in the mix.
Yeah.
And we always thought Airbnb was going to be a competitor to hotels. Not at all. I mean, they really helped the hotel sector to increase their rates. But at the same time, it's given people another choice of how they want to, utilize their staycation. And so it's, especially during the pandemic, I can see that being very popular. I don't have the numbers or the stats on it, but I do see articles written, hearing people talk about it, that it's here to stay. It really is. And
well, and the idea right now, get your Winnebago, get your minivan, and people are traveling now from destinations in countries. That's not just the United States, but they're going to this event, to this park, to this hotel.
right.
So you may not have the traditional traveler who comes and camps out and goes in your hotel for 5 days, but you do have them coming to your destinations, and the hospitality now has to figure out how to serve those people who are there for a shorter window and not using full facilities, but they're still coming for the experience.
Sure.
That's a whole new ball game as well.
Yes. And that's but it's a whole new ballgame, but it's just another great option for people to get out and travel. The more options we can give them, the more a la carte options per se, the more we're going to touch point on people that have an interest in what kind of stay they want to be in. And what's really getting popular are the smaller tiered hotels.
Yes.
Motel 6, I mean, they used to be like a $59 or $49 stay.
We'll keep the light on. Come on, that
over,
was their whole thing. We'll just keep one light on for you.
Yeah, but now it's over like $200 to stay there. So it's the travel world has definitely changed, and it's going to continue to evolve, because although it's great to have all these different options, there's still a lot of competition on trying to get what you want out of the market. Everybody wants to be all and end all, but that we know that even as speakers, we can't be speaking on every topic in the world. So
no.
You have to.
One of the areas I'm kind of interested in I've done some traveling through pandemic and I've seen it both on the airlines, the hospitality side of the airlines, which I haven't talked too much about, but the hospitality there, and in the hotels is where we've had to go back to more of a self-serve version of food. Buffets are gone in a lot of areas right now. But when you go on the airlines, I thought it was very interesting. They gave you a bag, Ziploc baggie with all your goodies in it. And it used to be one drink, one snack, and they go back and forth. They hand it over. It was literally, here's your bag, and that's what you got, and everyone got the same thing. Cleanup was really easy then, but you just put it back in the bag and hand them the bag. I can see the airlines maybe going forward and saying, we found an easier, cleaner, slicker system. Thank you, COVID, for making this easier. Do you see trends like that happening where hospitality now is finding maybe better ways to do this?
Yeah, it used to be where housekeeping, like for a hotel, for example, housekeeping was always behind the scenes. You never saw the housekeeper. You never saw them down the halls. You never saw them cleaning the staircase. Now it's like a cool thing to do. So they are out in the public, cleaning elevator buttons. I mean, it's like it's a showcase that has to be in front of people to let everybody know that, hey, we are staying on top of this. There's no hiding. There's no, we only do it once a day. Literally, it's funny because you walk into a hotel now and you just see the employees walking around cleaning everything. And it's like, okay, this is a clean hotel. It's got that perception. And that's the new trend, really is.
Clean. And they're another point of contact. Because now they have to act as concierge, as greeters. So they're not just, it's kind of the Disney philosophy. We're not just cleaning.
Right.
We're here for you to have access to, because we know we need to spread around to help you get to here, the destination. So they've also changed in their role to be more customer centric and personal centric while they're cleaning and doing things. I think that's one of the things that you keep going forward with. It just adds to the warmth of we're all here for you, not just the front desk guy anymore.
Yeah, and it doesn't even just pertain to the hospitality industry either. I mean, look at what's happening in the schools. Young kids having to, have a packet of Wipies in their backpack now. I mean, we never had that. We just had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. and now they have these backpacks with all this cleaning items on there. So I think it was time, if there's a silver lining of any sort, it was time for this world. It's part of sustainability. When you talk about sustainability, that's part of it, is being clean, being globally clean,
And how about the pre-check to go to the Smithsonian or go to your favorite event or go to the pre-check, I think has revolutionized some of this hospitality industry, because now the time, amount of people, the time entry, the time exit, how much volume you're going to have. I think you've eased the burden on hospitality instead of being like, oh, it's a mad wave. I can remember way back in the dark years of working at McDonald's in my young days. Okay, I was close to Notre Dame in Indiana. We would have the game on. The minute that game was done, we knew it was 30 minutes from Notre Dame to my McDonald's off of the Indiana Turnpike. We would drop every fry. We would drop any burger. We would have it all dropped, and they were flying in. That was the easiest drop off, and it was nuts for an hour. And after that was like, okay, we're dead. You don't have it anymore. You don't have that because this time entry allows you to breathe, to shift, to change people, to keep you fresh. Do you think time entries are here to stay?
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to even comment on your McDonald's. I only lasted one day in my job. I was not good at, what is that, flipping the fries at the time or something?
You couldn't do the little fry flip?
I think it was the first job I ever had that I got fired.
Greek birds are not fun. But again, those are the shifts we've all had to make now.
Right.
And
absolutely.
Part of the experiment, as we talked about earlier, this is a grand experiment. I think you need to embrace it as a leader again. Which experiments are you saying are going to stick, are going to help, they're going to streamline? Many companies that had to pivot on the C-suite level I've talked to, they've found out that they were leaner, meaner, faster, and more financially secure by cutting them out of the fat that they didn't know they had to cut.
Right.
It forced us to make changes that we never knew, and we're healthier for it.
Right.
Maybe hospitality is going through the same shakeup.
It is. And we're trying to stay ahead of the world and all that. But yet at the same time, we need to make some quicker decisions in order to get us to move forward faster. But yet sometimes, that whole motto I share with my audience is, slow down to speed up. So I feel like that was the silver lining for this pandemic. We all are slowing down. But I tell you what, Rich, when things start turning around, the floodgates are going to open. I mean, floodgates. And they talked about travel revenge. I also talk about meeting revenge. It's like, how many meetings can we plan in one day to catch up? Because they need to, especially financially, budget wise, and getting people back together. And I can't wait. I love doing this virtual. I do, but boy, there is nothing like face-to-face.
I got out to Vegas. Jeffrey Hazel and I from C-Suite went out and we got into Caesars. We spoke at Caesars. It was a great National Speakers Association event. It was great to go in. It was packed. Garth Brooks was playing that weekend. There was a big gun show out there. It was packed. And then at the same time, you have to step back, and part of the hospitality question going in there, we have name badges that like red, yellow, green. Red, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Yellow, maybe get a little close, or green, I'm wide open. We were joking about that, and people literally stepped through Caesars and said, I'm here, hug me. I miss you. It was that wide open, that fast.
Well, if you watch, now that football is, NFL and college level are back on TV and everything. And I mean, look at the people around. And I know it's most of it's younger generation, but anybody can, spread the pandemic. But boy, everybody's confidence is really coming back strong. And I'm glad to see that. We just need it more in our industry.
And again, I think that's where hospitality will have new systems, new in place. We're coming out and they're figuring out what stuck, what's failed, what didn't. And I think that's where conversations like this and celebrating the women that are leading that. Again, many of the women are pressing in now saying, we were in the trenches with you. We also are going to keep leading it with you on the way. And just as we heard in Asia, Meena saying more ladies need to be here because we belong here. Cheers for her and for other ladies in this space of hospitality that are raising that voice of, we really want to be in the game with you.
Very true. Very true. Well, we're heading into our next interview, which again is with Olga Navarro. Again, she's a true hospitality entrepreneur, and I can't wait for you, Rich, and everybody to meet this woman. She's definitely the type of woman that's ready to tell the truth about women, family, business, and she has some great takes that. I mean, I was writing down notes galore because she definitely has been, as you say, around the block in this industry in so many different ways. But she's got this fearlessness that I think every woman can have as well. And I would love for everybody to hear what she has to say. So
let's let Deborah get ready. We're going to Spain, everybody. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Passport?
Yeah, right. Yep. So we're jet setting to Spain, and we are going to be right back here again with Rich and I. And again, if you want to join us, please just go to hello@hospitalitytoday.com and let us know that you want to be on the show, and we are here for you to do that. So don't go far. We will be back very soon.
Here we go, Spain.
Enjoy.